Well, folks, I'm back with another card review, and man, it is a sick card. This is one of the coolest cards I've seen in a really long time. This is Remornia Living Blade. This was something people expected to show up since we're dealing with Castle Nathria, and man, I'm glad it did, because this card is so cool. This is a 7-mana, 4/10 legendary minion with Rush, and then it reads, after this attacks, equip it. And then that means Remornia Living Blade becomes a weapon with an effect that reads, after your hero attacks, return this to the battlefield. So here's how that works in practice. You play Remornia Living Blade. Let's say your opponent has a 4/4 minion. You trade into the 4/4. This takes 4 damage, making it a 4/6. Then it will jump up to your hero and be equipped as a weapon. The health will convert to durability, as you might expect. So you'll have a 4/6 weapon equipped, which obviously maybe you want to stop there. Maybe you want to have an insane weapon. Or let's say they have another 4/4 on board. You decide to attack that 4/4. Well, your weapon's going to lose 1 durability, as it would when it attacks, right? So it becomes a 4/5 weapon, and it jumps back to the battlefield as yet again a new 4/5 with Rush. It can attack again because it's a new minion. So then let's say that final 4/5 trades into a third 4/4, right? Then it becomes a 4/1 weapon that jumps back to your hero, and you can't attack again under normal situations. You can only attack once per turn, remember, so that would end the chain outside of any Wind Fury shenanigans. And then you might have a 4/1 weapon that you're hanging around for next turn. And you know, that's crazy. You get multiple actions per instance of Remornia, right? You could clear a few minions, squeeze in some face damage if you want. You got multiple iterations of how you might want to go through a given Remornia turn. And of course, if you're hitting even smaller things, 4/4s were my examples, but if you're hitting a bunch of 1/1s, right, it's going to have like a lot of health / durability left at the end of all these cycles, which means you might just be stuck with a crazy big weapon. Maybe you don't even really care that much about clearing your opponent's boards, but you know, you just get to attack face, it gets summoned, you trade into something small, and then you're just happy to keep going face turn after turn with getting some chip trades in here and there, hopefully for nothing too big, because eventually that will eat up your durability so that you can't go face too often. So what that means is this is like a board clear card, you know, sometimes clearing multiple minions in one instance if you need to. It can be like a damage based card. You may run out of ability to attack after a while, but still could easily envision 3 attacks if you're playing opponents with small boards and you're able to keep that rush going to turn it back into a weapon. So it just does a lot bundled into a single card, and you know, that's outside of any shenanigans like buffing this. You know, we've got lots of weapon buffs that exist in Warrior, or minion based buffs that then turn into weapon stats as well. There are ways to scale this up for some even crazier plays. I also have to wonder, will this be in the Juggernaut pool as a weapon for Warrior? Because if so, that's kind of insane to think about. This is a weapon as a payoff for Pyro Warrior. So I actually think this card looks really good. It's got that immediate impact, both from a rush and a weapon standpoint. It's got some scalability. It's, you know, pricey at 7 mana, but I think it's doing a lot both immediately and longer term as well. So I think in many cases that 7 mana will absolutely feel worth it because this card can do so much. And frankly, it's just such a freaking cool design. I don't even really care that much if it's good. It's just awesome. So I think Remornia Living Blade is going to be both powerful and just amazing. Remornia Living Blade is a 5-star card. And yeah, that's it. We only got 1 card this time around, but man, who cares? It is a special one. I'm curious if you guys like this as much as I do. I think this design is so fascinating to see. So what are your thoughts? How are you going to make Remornia even more amazing? How are you going to buff this? How are you going to do crazy things that I'm curious to hear? All those thoughts and more down in the comments below. But until then, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, game on.